Hey, what's up? I am Ara, aka I Eat Zebra, and welcome back to the channel. In my last Yellowjackets video, I discussed my thoughts on the bonus episode and what it may be about. After reading your comments and doing some further digging, you all changed my mind. I'm fully convinced the bonus episode is going to be a standalone origin story on the background of the hunter, aka Cabin Daddy, and the cabin itself. I'm going to cover what we know about the hunter and the cabin so far, and then share some predictions on what we may see in an episode covering their origin story. So, let's get to it. Well, we still don't know when this episode will air, but we do know it will be before season 3. Now that the WGA strike is over, I'm assuming the Yellowjackets writers will be back in the room shortly, as they had started working on season 3 when the strike went into effect. Meaning the bonus episode in season 3 will be in development soon. SAG-AFTRA, as the time of this recording, is still on strike, so hopefully they are able to reach a deal in favor of the guild so production can get started. While we wait, let's go over what we do know so far and speculate a bit later, starting off with the cabin itself. The cabin is located in Canada, most likely near or in the province of British Columbia. We know there was a storm that the pilots were avoiding when they were traveling to Washington State, and they went north to avoid it. The closest province to that area is British Columbia. This is assuming the plane crash happened closer to their arrival in Washington. The cabin itself is located near a lake and seems to be in a remote area, as it's the only cabin the Yellowjackets have come across. The team found a plane. I assume this is how the hunter traveled to the cabin. We do not know exactly when it was built, and if the hunter is the one who actually built it, or if he inherited it from a family member. The cabin itself was uninhabited, sort of, before the team arrived, and thanks to the actions of Coach Ben, it was last seen going up in flames. I am pretty confident that the cabin has been reduced to ash and will be uninhabitable. I know some people don't believe Coach Ben set the cabin on fire, but we did see him stake out the cabin. It was barred from the outside, and we saw him look at the matches, so odds are in favor of Ben doing it. Now let's move on to the hunter, aka Cabin Daddy, whom we know a bit more about, but still not much. We first see the hunter when Ty discovers his body in the attic. He is in the rocking chair with a shotgun propped up next to it. Some of his fingers are missing, and it is staged like a suicide, with the symbol on the floor appearing in front of him. The next time he appears is in the spectral form during Jackie's death vision. This occurs when she ends up freezing to death in her sleep. While she was dreaming, she was back in the cabin with the team in front of a warm fire. She then looks over and sees the hunter, whose face is obscured. We did not see a spectral form of the hunter in season 2, but we did see the man with no eyes during Ty's sleepwalking incidents. For more on that, check out my What's Going On with Ty video linked below. Outside of the two sightings of the hunter, we know that he is French-Canadian, based on some of the papers found in the cabin being in French. My assumption is he is originally from the province of Quebec and vacations in the cabin. We also know he likes porn mags, as Van stumbled upon some when they arrived. During season 1, Jackie suggests they have a seance in the cabin where they mockingly refer to the hunter as Jacques. Is this his real name? Possibly, but not confirmed. However, Lottie does become possessed and starts speaking in French. I want to pre-apologize for the pronunciations here, as I don't speak French. I was able to locate a translation of what Lottie said. Shout out to Reddit user ThatBlackSwan. Il veut toujours du sang. Il voulait du sang. Il veut plus de sang. Il voulait plus de sang. Le sang coulait ici, 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 il faut. Which roughly translates to, it always wants blood, it wanted blood, it wants more blood, it wanted more blood, blood is flowing here, here, here it must. Lottie smashes her face against the window to draw the blood it wants. I do not believe the hunter is the entity looking for blood, but was the one acting through Lottie. However, this isn't the only time Lottie, who apparently wasn't that great in French class, according to Jackie, speaks or hears French in the show, which I believe connects back to the hunter. I believe they share a spiritual connection. More on that later. During the season 1 finale, we hear Lottie say, as she offers the bare heart to the altar, Versez le sang, mes beaux amis. The phrase translates to shed blood, my beautiful friends, or kind of literally like spill the blood. In season 2, when Lottie goes over to the bees and has a vision that they all were dead and soaked in blood, one of the members of her cult says, "Il veut du sang," in French, which is "it wants blood," which is what Lottie says during the attic seance in season 1. Was this the hunter speaking through the lady? Possibly, or it could be the it. Who knows? The recurrence of French makes me feel this is connected back to the hunter, as we know that is a language he speaks. As we have seen, it uses French and English interchangeably. That's all we have from what we have seen in the show. However, lucky for us, there has been some production shots of the hunter for what is rumored to be a scene that was cut from season 2. This was said to take place when Van starts to tell the story of the cabin. We know from set photos the hunter is rumored to be played by Jason Ritter, the husband of Melanie Lynskey, the actress that plays adult Shauna, who was confirmed to have shot some scenes that did not air. There are shots of a hunter carrying a baby that looks a lot like Jason Ritter. The hunter in this shot is wearing the same plaid jacket the team found in the cabin. We have seen a few members of the team wearing that jacket like Travis and Lottie. The baby is played by twin girls, according to the Instagram user, Chenderling Twins. The baby seen is one of their daughters. So we know the hunter had a family. We do not have physical remains of the family, we only see the remains of the hunter. I do believe the items found in the cabin could indicate its last inhabitant was not just the hunter. As of now, that's all we know about the cabin and the hunter. Let's get into some speculation because boy do I have thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments. I believe the cabin was inherited through a few generations of the hunter's family. Since it is so remote, picturing a real estate agent selling the property to someone feels unlikely. I'm thinking this may have been a summer home for the family to visit. Based on its proximity to the lake and being in the mountains, this would be an idyllic summer retreat. The hunter may have visited the home as a kid with his parents. We know the winters in this area can get harsh, which would make it difficult to live year-round, which is why I don't think it was meant to be a permanent residence. That and the land itself is cursed. The hunter was the poor, unfortunate soul that I believe learned that lesson the hard way. Due to the cabin's remote location, living there during the winter can be a death sentence if you are low on provisions. We have seen how desperate times can get when you are starving, a la Snacky Fest and the first hut. The hunter has a family, but only his remains were found. I am assuming, based on the position in which he was found, that he may have killed himself out of guilt for some horror he unleashed on his family. The missing fingers makes you wonder if they were lost due to frostbite, or he may have eaten them due to hunger, like the unfortunate Lady Hornwood for my A Song of Ice and Fire readers. It really makes you think what misfortune befell this family, because I think it turned into a Dahmer party situation, which is why he was found in that manner. Besides starvation, what else could drive someone to do the unthinkable? Well, I think the answer is quite obvious. There is a supernatural presence in the area. Not just the cabin, but the land itself. The deity, if you will, is one of darkness and is a curse on all that stay in the area for too long, unless you give it what it wants: blood. The symbol we see is some form of spiritual iconography tied to the malevolent spirit. As to the origins of the symbol and the spirit it worships, I think it predates the hunter. Maybe one of his ancestors is responsible for carving it into the trees we see located near the cabin. Or maybe it's related to an older group of people that resided in this area, which I think is more likely to be the case here. The meaning of the symbol, its roots and origins, can definitely be a whole video on its own, and I'll go into that more in depth in a separate video. For this particular discussion, I do think we will get more intel on the symbol and its relationship to the hunter, and hopefully a greater understanding overall in the bonus episode. If you have seen my other Yellowjackets theories, it should come as no surprise. I believe there's a lot of supernatural activity happening here. With the destruction of the cabin in the finale, going back to learn more of its origins and previous occupant will be interesting for a bonus episode. I know it has not been confirmed, this show is supernatural, but I don't believe we can write it off either. I can't wait to learn more about the hunter and see how we went from the guy smiling in these set photos to the lonely skeleton we meet in season 1. I believe there's still a lot to uncover on this mysterious entity in the wilderness as we wait for season 3 and the bonus episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified for future Yellowjackets videos. I would love to hear your theories on what is going on with the creepy cabin and what happened to the hunter in the comments below. See you next time. Bye!